What's going on, everybody? Prodigal Lion here. Now, I wanted to go ahead and make another video on The Last of Us Part 2 addressing something that was in an interview from Neil Druckmann a couple days ago. So, as you guys know, a couple days ago was Outbreak Day, and there was all kinds of new info being released and teased, and Neil Druckmann and like I know there was like a demo behind the demo video that was released on top of a whole bunch of mini videos from IGN. Naughty Dog themselves even went ahead and revealed a couple of the little things. I think they showed a little bit more gameplay from what the journalists and media had played as the demos. They had also revealed some like shirts and stuff like that you can buy. But there was an interview in particular that Neil Druckmann was doing with IGN the other day, and he had actually pointed out something about Joel and how he still is going to play a major part in the game. Ever since the reveal of the game, everybody's been coming up with all these stupid theories about Joel's a ghost. That's not actually Joel. Ellie's just envisioning him and all this kind of stuff. Now, I will say, Joel might die in The Last of Us Part 2, but I feel like everybody's just jumping on that ship. Knowing Naughty Dog, I know that they're not gonna do anything for shock factor. They're not gonna kill Joel or Ellie for that matter, purely for shock. They aren't gonna give them plot armor either, though, because this is not Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones Season 8, I should say. They had a shit ton of plot armor. But the point is, in this interview, Neil had been talking about one thing he had mentioned was how you're going to be having an ally with you basically throughout the game, and he said like how it evolves and changes and stuff like that. He's not going to talk about because he just wants to leave it as a surprise to the game. But what I kind of gathered from that is like, well, all we've really been seeing is you playing as Ellie, and then you playing as Ellie with Dina at your side. I feel like it's going to really vary. I feel like Ellie's going to be with Joel. I have a very strong feeling we're going to get to play as Joel at some point. Like, I know everything we're seeing is of us playing Ellie. I'm almost 100% certain we play as Joel at some point in the game. Maybe it's even quite a bit. Maybe we can go back and forth between, like, who knows? Like, maybe while Ellie's out, we can play as her, but then we can play as Joel back at the fort or whatever. And maybe it just keeps bouncing back and forth throughout the game. I don't know. Regardless, I bet we play as Joel. But then Neil went on to continue talking about how this whole story is that there's still a very big story based around Ellie and Joel and their relationship and their dynamic and how they bond and cooperate together. And then he straight up said that Joel is still a huge part of the story. So there goes all your fan theories. And just so you know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna go ahead and show you the clip.
What the hell are you doing here?
You think I'd let you do this on your own?
Of strength. Some of it is just because teenagers will be teenagers, and some of it is because their history is why you haven't seen them together a lot. But I will say, right, so much of The Last of Us is about this duo and their dynamic, and how they are together and how they play together. And I will say Joel plays a major part of this game as well.
And then from there, he goes on to talk a little bit about Dina and Ellie's relationship and how they bonded ever since she moved into Jackson 5 years prior. But just the whole point of that is I just wanted to clarify, just confirm that Neil did confirm Joel is going to be a big part. I feel like everybody thinks that Joel is just taking a huge backseat. I know he hasn't been marketed whatsoever. I know we're just now seeing him 3 years after the initial reveal trailer of the game. And it's still, and like all the gameplay we've seen, Ellie's either by herself or with Dina. But as Neil has kept saying, as much as it seems like we're seeing of the game, it's just a very small fraction. So I mean, there is so much to this game that I don't want them to show too much more. I'm happy that they're keeping it on the down low and they're not showing too much. They're just giving us a little glimpse into the game. But I know that there is so much about the game that we don't even know yet, so much that we don't even see. I still feel like there's a possibility we end up seeing Ellie's mom. I still have a feeling we're going to play as Joel. I know Joel's going to be a huge part. I know that Joel and Ellie are going to probably be together for quite a bit of the game. So there is just so much that we have to look forward to that I know Naughty Dog is not going to spoil for us ahead of time. But this is just video just to talk about the fact that Joel is a major part of the game, and just take a big breath of relief there. I know a lot of people were worried about that and everything, but that's confirmation right from Neil Druckmann for you guys. That's all I really had for this video. I just wanted to bring this to talk about it for a quick minute because I was watching a couple of the IGN videos and that was one of them. And I just kind of caught my eye and I was just all happy. I was happy to get like confirmation Joel is still going to be a big part of the game, because I myself, I'm not surprised by it, but I was kind of like wondering why everything we've seen was with Ellie. I mean, heck, there's not even a Joel edition in the special editions of the game. There's only an Ellie edition, so... I know he's not being marketed for the game as much as, especially as last time around. It seems like it's more of just a single protagonist game as opposed to a dual protagonist last time around. But I think it's more because Naughty Dog's just trying to keep something, you know, kind of secretive for when we actually get to play it. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm looking forward to making more of The Last of Us Part 2 videos as more news comes out. And I don't know how much more we're getting in the near future, but I know, I mean, we still got we only got like 5 months left till release, so I'm sure we'll get little trinkets here and there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time.